Stop! I have
Yikes!
Indulge my curiosity. Do you hope your foolhardiness will shelter? Oh? If so, then you... Not so. The Vision Hut the Fatui's actions thus far do... Individual... What you might not realize... Consider this. Rather, those who have Traveler, there seems to be... So, I won't insist. That's right. Anyway... You... So be it.
Do you wish to become the enemy of eternity, Traveler?
Cool it! Oh, so sorry.
Let the show be steady as
Freeze! What's the hurry?
This is long overdue.
Lightning falls on the land of eternity. Inferior.
I'll protect us.
Strike
I must
dead.
leave no access denied.
Freeze!
Inferior. Inferior.
Cool it! What's the hurry?
Ow! Go, Barbara, go! No! Leave it all to Born of Ice and Frost.
Dodge this!
Division is futile.
Ready, steady, go! I need...
Freeze!
This ends now.
Dodge this!
Instabilities will be removed. You are an enemy that requires special attention. Strike dead!
Don't push your luck!
Inferior.
Dear me, aren't you cutting it rather close?
Miko, this was your doing?
Now. Don't forget who taught you how to place your consciousness in objects. Surely you don't think your ambition alone is enough to shake A's will, do you? Though you alone are here, they too have ambitions, which they long since entrusted to you. Now then, close your eyes.
We can abolish the Vision Hunt Decree.
Cool it! Ha, this moment will be frozen in time.
Your verdict is decided. All will be severed. This one, a fleeting shadow.
Freeze! Ah! Oh, so sorry.
All hail!
Without yearning, all returns to silence. Your verdict is decided.
Let's dance. Steady as stone.
This moment
All
will be
will be
frozen in
severed.
time. Cool it!
This one, a fleeting shadow.
Dodge
Your
this!
verdict is decided.
For Rex Lapis. Access denied.
Freeze! Dodge this!
Your verdict is decided.
I must leave you.
Oh, so sorry.
We're way behind schedule.
You've lost, eh?
Yes, I have.
Why can you not trust your people, and in the power of their ambitions? These ambitions have transcended space and time. They are Is this the lesson you learned from your journey? There are nations where humans cast their god aside and stride forward? So are we to just abandon the notion of progress for the sake of wishful thinking?
You and I have both witnessed the great loss that progress... Eternity. Eternity is the only way. When lightning flashes, it casts a shadow. My name means shadow. With my blade, I purged all obstacles to progress. And yet, something was lost with each step forward. In the end, I even lost her. The tales are still retold in the shade of every Thunder Sakura. But the wounds left on our nation by that terrible loss still ache. Never stop searching, even if only for a brief flash of light. If nothing else, we have the present moment. She said that once. But I've seen a nation stride forward and lose everything to the heavenly principles. Perhaps only if time stands still will the lightning's glow never fade. The present moment is a fragile illusion. Only eternity can bring us closer to the heavenly principles. I am no longer the shadow. Mine is the most supreme and noble form. Let power over the realm be vested within me. In this form shall I honor my subjects' dream, for a land of eternity, unchanging forevermore.
The heavenly principles. Irrelevant nonsense as far as I'm concerned. When all's said and done, all you really want is to protect your beloved Inazuma forever and ever. Isn't that right?
That would be something of an oversimplification.
But is this nation worth existing for eternity? Stripped of ambitions, stripped of the potential for change, it does nothing more than simply exist. It is a hollow shell of a nation. I wonder what loss would it really be to anyone if such a nation were destroyed?
Miko, retract your words. Never changing eternity is the promise I made to my people.
But what your people need from you is not your promises. They want your attention. Your divine gaze.
You mean visions? Humans have a lifespan of barely 100 years. They cannot afford to bear any extra losses. But I have experienced it all. That is why I have chosen to guide them along the correct path toward eternity.
But eternity is far too cruel a fate for you, eh?
For me?
Not only have you stopped paying attention to the world, but you have stopped paying attention to yourself. It must have been terribly lonely here, all alone, for centuries on end.
But it is necessary.
You will miss much by refusing progress. You seek to prevent loss, but have you considered all you are losing by remaining here in stasis for all eternity? You are obviously lonely, and yet for the sake of eternity you choose to stretch your loneliness out to infinity. Tell me this. Why is the sky here that was once so dark glowing again? Why now? This is your plane of euthymia. It's your inner world. So it can only mean that you are happy to see me again. You have found the loneliness here unbearable for a long time now, haven't you?
I have nothing to say to that.
But I have so much to say to you. Let me tell you all that has happened over the last few centuries.
How long will that take?
As a Fox envoy, I have an excellent memory. I recall every detail of the last few centuries with perfect clarity. So it will probably take me another few centuries to relay it to you.
Miko, I never thought I would have the chance to meet with you like this again. Seeing you again is a change to eternity. And a very nice surprise.
Since you are willing to admit that, I suppose that means we can still...
What a childish conversation this is. Anyway, now that I have been defeated by you and your plan, I will honor you. But, with regards to eternity and...
You are the one who's been acting like a... As promised, the Raiden Shogun abolished the Vision Hunt Decree. Finally, her people's wishes penetrated her locked heart. Beyond the plane of euthymia, she saw what eternity means in the eyes of the world. When one's fervent ambition burns brightly, the gods will cast their gaze upon you. Some ambitions have the power to heal wounds, to bring victory, to inspire hope. But some ambitions outlive their masters long after the soul ascends. They remain as they were in the beginning. Burning bright and true for all eternity.
So what did you guys do in the Raiden Shogun's plane of youth? Is the Vision Hunt decree abolished? Oh, gotcha. So maybe the reason Yai Miko is looking for us now is because she wants to thank us.
Talk to the electro.
Another bad one?
Whenever you are troubled.
No, let me try again.
If you lie on the grass, you can feel the heartbeat of the world. Next on the agenda...
Protection of the Electro Argon.
Why, hello, if it isn't the triumphant traveler. And why might you be visiting the shrine? A sign of piety, perhaps?
You literally told us to come meet you here! Seems like someone's...
Mm-hmm. Catching up with an old friend I hadn't seen. By the way, I heard that you had a duel before the throne, with a Fatui Harbinger no less. Courageous. Defeating Signora head-on in a duel means that your strength exceeds my expectations. Still, you did end up victorious. I gather congratulations are in order.
Sure feels good to finally thwart the Fatui plan for once. They caused plenty of trouble along the way, but at the very least, they didn't get their hands on another Gnosis.
Wait a second. Did you say Gnosis? As in, the little thing that looks something like a chess piece?
Yep, that's the one. You've seen one too? Gnosis belong to the Seven. They're what keep them connected to Celestia.
Oh.
What's wrong?
I handed that over.
You did what?
Well, how else was I supposed to save your skin from the Balladeer exactly? The Balladeer is number 6 of the Fatui Harbingers. In terms of strength, he is superior to Signora. I'm not the kind of person who risks life and limb for any old reason.
You did...
After A created her puppet vessel, she no longer had anywhere to put it. As her erstwhile closest friend, A handed it over to me, and I've kept it in the Grand Narukami Shrine ever since. She no longer needs the power of the Gnosis, and in any case, she tells me she has severed ties with Celestia. Thus, the Gnosis became not only useless, but also a potential source of conflict. Is that not a good bargain, exchanging it for the one at the core of the plan? Judging by the results, at least, I dare say I struck a good deal.
When you put it like that, Paimon has to agree. The Traveler is worth more than a Gnosis. Well, what's done is done. So anyway... Really?
You intend to travel all over Teyvat, and the time has come for the Inazuma leg of your trip to come. As a mark of my gratitude, I will answer any questions. What would you like to know about? Sorry, I haven't a clue. I'm also unfamiliar with the god you describe. But if you still have doubts about A, I would say they are misplaced. Not only does she not fit your description, but she voluntarily gave up her Gnosis long ago, severing her ties with Celestia in the process. That's good to hear. Otherwise, given that I'm her familiar, it could have made our relationship right.
Don't worry. We aren't looking to pick a fight with you.
I wish you the best of luck. May you soon discover the truth behind it all. As for your brother's whereabouts, I will use all the resources at my disposal to investigate it, and I will also borrow some of Ayato's people from the Shiumatsuban. I'll let you know if I find out anything. Consider it part of my means of thanking you. That puppet was built with technology that has been lost to time. Perhaps she is... Still, there's one other thing. Before A began modifying her own godly form...
So, you mean there are 3?
No. The prototype was merely a proof of concept. Its appearance and intellect were not based on A. It was a test. The original plan was for A to simply discard it. But perhaps A thought this to be too cruel, because in the end she chose only to seal the power within it. Later, this puppet wandered Inazuma as an ordinary human male with his own consciousness, until the Fatui took an interest in him.
Ugh! Not the Fatui!
Some eccentric geniuses in the ranks of the Fatui made adjustments to the prototype, not only unsealing his power, but very likely rendering him even more formidable than his original specifications. The object of divine creation is now the one who has taken possession of the Gnosis, and the prototype puppet is now known as the Balladeer.
What a crazy story!
It is, isn't it? Who can say whether it's coincidence or destiny? After leaving Inazuma,
Ooh, Sumeru! We've run into loads of scholars!
Yes, well, Sumeru is the land of the god of wisdom, where the quest for wisdom and knowledge is never-ending. But their obsession gives rise to some truly In Sumeru, knowledge is holistically managed as a
Knowledge is a...
Yes. I don't know whether it was the sages or Lesser Lord Kusanali who came up with the idea.
Lesser Lord could...
Oh, you haven't heard. Lesser Lord Kusanali is the deity in whom the people of Sumeru place their faith. I'm sure you must have some things to discuss with her too. I wish you all the best. Are you sure? Okay then. Oh, try keep it safe. There was me thinking that you might hang it around your neck to show off to the world, telling everyone who inquired that it was given.
Who in their right mind would do that?
Okay, I'll stop. Now, a question. I see. But that is... Your ambition should be something that transcends the world below and the starry sky above. Something that Perhaps the reason you do not possess a vision is that such an ambition has yet to be engendered within you. Continue on your journey, and...
Should we really be off work this early? There is still a lot left to do.
Hello, Mr. Crossell.
Oh, good.
You're
Miss Yanfei.
Wait!
No, I'm not. The contract in return, I included a clause.
guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false. Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness, each of us has retained an original copy of the contract.
In that case, might you know where Miss Xiaochao lives? We'd like to pay her a visit and have a look at the hairpins.
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our contract. Here, I'll mark it on your map for you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossell. We'll be off now.
You can't beat the atmosphere here in Viva. My friend.
We're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda.
Oh, whatever shall I do? Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with?
How do you do, Miss Xiaochao? My associates and I are very interested in them. Would you mind letting us take a look at them?
The hairpins. I can't lend them to you right now. I've lost them. I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn them yet. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, there's no way I could come up with that amount of money on such short notice. We now have a backlog of paid. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several. That's what the hairpins were for, to keep up appearances. But now that I've lost the.
Why does Paimon have a...
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Hold on.
Huh? Well, I mean, sure, I have it right here. Here you are.
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? Maybe she can help Jiqiao somehow. True. Though surely there must be a win-win solution.
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay Mr. Crossell the original value of the hairpins as compensation for the loss. Furthermore, the contract, and given the rarity of Smaragd...
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
However...
Did you really have to pause? But whichever way you look at...
Except that if we found the...
Please. Please, Don't trouble yourselves over this. However much it is, now that it's come to the...
Yes, legally speaking, it seems... So hold on a moment, Mr.
What did I feel? My family has seen much...
Smooth to the... No, it's nothing.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Jiqiao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins? I trust you're quite satisfied with them?
About that.
You lost them? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how expensive they were?
I'm sorry. Truly I am. I'll pay the compensation as per our contract. Every last mora.
Mora? Do you have any idea what I had to go through to get my hands on that Smaragdus jadeite? I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her estimate the amount that needs to be paid.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes. And if I may just confirm again... It was in fact genuine Smaragdus jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course. Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
All right, understood. I'll conduct some
Thank you very much.
Looks like I'll have to...
Please wait, Miss Sherchow. It's not
You can't beat the atmosphere here in Demon. My friend, what can I get? I should open a store here.
We're way behind schedule.
Miss Yanfei, what is this about?
No. What I wanted to talk about is... There is a chance that the ore inlaid on those hair...
What do you mean? Are you implying that you already sneaked off and found them?
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say I made some deductions. I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy. If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of personality. It most certainly would not be smooth to the touch. Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell while...
No, not...
Now that is strange. I noticed earlier that there were elemental traces in Mr. Crossell's vicinity. If I've deduced correctly, he may still have the Smaragdus jadeite in his possession.
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now and expose his dirty scam right to his face!
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it. Eventually, he would find some argument to compel us to leave. And then, he'd throw the Smaragdus jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. He would lose nothing. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still exist somewhere in this world.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be experience talking.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them. Fortunately, I have far more elegant solutions at my disposal. I'll share them with you in due course.
Well then, since you're so...
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first...
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for... It feels like Yan...
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything anywhere commissioned but not bound by a
I understand. Then
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. Now write your address here, and then sign... And I'll also need your signatures on page...
This contract has so many pages!
All right, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the
I've had to read...
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy. Not for now, no. Despite how I don't believe you have been part of an investigation.
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask...
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to... Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not, it... Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage... But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... Ah, I've got it! If Mr. Crossell had his
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to... Oh, it's you, Miss Yanfei. Is something the matter? Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and no one...
No, nothing of this...
Snezhnayan... That was the first time. He was quite generous. Why, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Try your luck betting on Jade?
We're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda...
Huh? If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross-sections and patterning suggest that... Yes, I've heard it said that Smaragd...
A thin layer of...
If you must see for yourself.
Is that... So, did you find anything? So they really are...
There's nothing special to it. These two stones actually look... There may be only a subtle difference, and I'm sure...
All right, let's focus on...
But never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr. Crossell...
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take some of these shavings back to Chateau.
Miss Yanfei.
If you could just confirm for...
Yes.
Then I have no further...
Of course.
Oh, I have my... This document shows...
Yeah.
I wouldn't say there's been an incident.
With this hard evidence to back...
On the contrary, if you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Aha! Got...
Well, that was quick.
Because lots of people... As you know, Liyue Harbor is the... But the amendments, as such, legal...
So you helped them make sense of the law. But didn't you say...
Yes, well, that's no op... You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is illegal... Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like reading things.
Again with that cat...
Well, that's that then. Let's...
Join the Adventurers Guild.
Oh, Miss Yenfei, it's you. Has something happened? Did the client from last time,
Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, of course. I'm just here to ask you a few questions. Has a merchant by the name of Crossel asked you to put him in contact with a jewelsmith recently?
Krosel? Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant from Snezhnaya, no? Yeah, he came to me with a chunk of something he called Smaragdus Jadeite. The design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. Eventually, I found an older jewelsmith who made them exactly according to his specifications. This order was on hold for a very long time, and
Doesn't seem like they're...
Miss Inksy,
Yes, I'm sure of it. Mr. Krosel wasn't... I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself. The item is called Smaragdus Jadeite Twin Phoenix Pins. The inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus Jadeite. The document even has the official seal of the ministry on it.
Thank you, Sinksy. Now, could you let me borrow this document?
Sure. It isn't serving much purpose here anyway. I take it then that there's been some more trouble?
Nothing you need to worry about. Just a minor issue. I'll return your document as soon as I'm done with it. Thanks again.
Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something is in trouble?
I believe we have almost...
The weirdo with the...
Because only he can provide an authoritative statement confirming that Smaragdus Jadeite is harmful to the human body. Once we have this final piece of evidence in our hands, we can wrap this case up.
We're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda.
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out gathering herbs. And if it isn't Miss Yenfei as well, now that's an even rarer honor. What business brings you here, might I inquire? Some charlatans peddling ineffectual medicines again, no doubt?
No. I'm here this time to ask if you're familiar with Smaragdus Jadeite.
Smaragdus Jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it included in the 6th commentary on the 7 Mountain Treatises. The 7 Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains, and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case scenario, they fall ill. Worst case scenario, they'll suffer great changes in personality, and their illness will only ever get worse. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat. Knowing you, Yenfei, and given the specific nature of your question, I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical peculiarities of Smaragdus Jadeite?
That is indeed the case. If you would be so kind, Dr. Baiju.
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. I would mention, though, that you are not the only one who's developed a curiosity for Smaragdus Jadeite recently. A Snezhnayan merchant came to ask me about it not long ago. But after I gave him my reply, his expression shifted to one of remarkable disappointment. I wonder, Miss Yenfei, if your pressing business might be related to this Snezhnayan merchant?
You needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baiju. Thank you for penning us that document. I'll make sure to compensate you in due course.
You're too kind. Take care now.
That Baiju guy is as weird as ever. Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossell.
Please, show me your prescription. Please, show me your prescription. I can't read what this says. Please, show me your prescription.
It's so nice to de-stress.
I can't read what this says. Please, show me your prescription.
Should we really be off work this early? There is still a lot left to do.
Please, show me your prescription. I can't read what this says. Please, show me your prescription. I can't read what this says. I can't read what this says.
If you lie on the grass, you can feel the heartbeat of the world. We're way behind schedule.
My friend, what can I do?
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation? I trust you will now be in a position to assess the compensation due.
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded. I can now provide a final figure for the amount payable.
Wonderful. Well then, please, could you do the honors, Miss Yanfei?
Of course. According to the stipulations of the contract, Mr. Crossell, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her? Surely there's been some kind of mistake, Miss Yanfei.
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, The substance claimed to be smaragdus jadeite that was inlaid within the smaragdus jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow was, in fact, smaragdus nephrite. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you are liable for this sum, which is payable to Mr. Chow in Mora.
Material evidence? What material evidence? Why, Miss Yanfei, you cannot frame me like this. I spent a huge sum to obtain that smaragdus jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid on the hairpins is somehow fake? I demand to see your evidence.
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, please produce the evidence in question. This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit signed by the business owner, Chateau.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between smaragdus jadeite and smaragdus nephrite. How does this prove anything? In any case, smaragdus nephrite is the outer layer of smaragdus jadeite. So I had him cut away the nephrite, he returned the valuable jadeite core to me, and some nephrite samples remain in the store. What am I missing exactly?
That's an unsubstantiated belief.
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated. And we are here to talk about evidence, aren't we?
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't convince him at all. Seems like he came prepared. What should we do next?
Hard evidence, something legally binding. We have just the thing. Show him, Traveler. Come on. I meant the backup copy of the document from the Ministry of Civil Affairs. The one we got from Sinxi of Mingsing Jewelry.
This document proves...
Our second piece of evidence didn't...
You know, you could be right. Perhaps...
Of course I'm right. All the evidence...
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall... Traveler, would you do the honors? This shall serve as decisive proof of our case. Smaragdus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring sustained contact with Mr. Crossell. Were you aware of these peculiar properties of smaragdus jadeite?
I had no idea.
No idea, you say? I'd guessed as much. But for you to have rented out such a dangerous item... I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil Affairs. However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient considering that, as you say, you were ignorant of the danger you posed. Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here will be handed over to the Ministry. I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
What? Wait! I knew.
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear Mr. Crossell. But if you knew of smaragdus jadeite's dangerous properties beforehand, why would you...
Huh? No, The hairpins aren't actually
inlaid with genuine smaragdus jadeite? Is that what you were about to say? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will have to pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original price in Mora? Mr. Crossell, your answer, please. My client and I are waiting.
Yanfei's seriously intimidating right now. It's like she's a different person.
I admit it. I confess. The ore I had inlaid on those hairpins was Smaragdus nephrite. But I'm a victim in all of this too. I invested a great deal of time and money into acquiring that small amount of Smaragdus jadeite, in the hopes of turning it into a piece of jewelry that would fetch a fine price. But after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I couldn't sleep a wink or eat a single bite. I was in a constant state of agitation, too. I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. But how could I let all that money go to waste? That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus nephrite, which is almost indistinguishable from Smaragdus jadeite. I kept the real Smaragdus jadeite in a specially made box. I daren't touch it again. I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And then to top it all off, Jiqiao lost the hairpins after I rented them out to her.
Exactly! If they weren't the real deal, why'd you make her pay so much?
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that Smaragdus jadeite, some of my business partners found out. I knew they'd be watching closely to see how much I could make off it. If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hairpins, then my days in this line of business would be over.
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client. According to the contract, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original price in Mora, and that is final.
10 times?
Crosel looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow, 20% of that sum will go to me.
20%? That's as much as I spent on that Smaragdus jadeite!
There's no need. It's fine. You don't have to pay me that much, Mora. Even if the Smaragdus jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility for losing them. Legally or not, I think I owe some compensation for that.
Ms. Jiqiao, you...
However, Mr. Crosel, since you have no use for that chunk of Smaragdus jadeite, why don't you give it to me instead? I'll consider us even.
What? But all right, then. This cursed rock's brought me enough grief as it is.
Miss Yanfei, I'll turn this Smaragdus jadeite over to you. I trust that it will suffice as remuneration?
Well, that's not quite how the rules say this should go. But whatever. It'll do.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yanfei. When you have the time, I'll be sure to visit and express my thanks more appropriately.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony. Now, if I may confirm this again, Mr. Chow, have you and Mr. Crosel come to an understanding?
Well, yes, I believe we have.
Well then, that's good. Mr. Crosel, it seems that my client has no further claims against you.
Is that so? That's good. That's good.
Actually, Mr. Crosel, I'd like to talk business for a second, if I may. I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works in the ore business, and we have a fair stock of fine ores. If we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores, I think we could do some fine business between us.
Let me think for a moment.
Well, that's that. And we've got the Smaragdus jadeite that Granny wants too. All's well that ends well, eh?
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, we end up searching all over the place for it. But this time, you managed to solve the problem with just a big stack of documents. Even though the solution didn't involve actually finding the hairpins.
The right solution depends on your perspective on the problem. The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, rather than looking high and low for some hairpins, proving that the rented item was nowhere near worth what the vendor had claimed it to be was the more efficient solution. An Adeptus. Speaking of, you took part in that battle, didn't you? In which case, you would have heard what Granny said. Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans. The title of Adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as a legal advisor. In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of today needs legal consultancy far more than it needs adeptal powers?
Paimon can think of someone who would definitely disagree with your reasoning.
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to pay Granny a visit. I bet she's been on tenterhooks for a while now.
It's so nice to de-stress. If you lie on the grass, you can feel the heartbeat of the world. Should we really be off work this early? There is still a lot left to do. If you lie on the grass, you can feel the heartbeat of the world. Should we really be off work this early? There is still a lot left to do. If you lie on the grass, you can feel the heartbeat of the world. It's so nice to de-stress. Should we really be off work this early? There is still a lot left to do.
Can't beat the atmosphere here either. You can't beat the atmosphere here either.
If you lie on the grass, you can feel the heartbeat of the world.
Atmosphere here either. can't beat the atmosphere here in Diva.
It's so nice to de-stress.
You can't beat the atmosphere here in Diva. You can't beat the atmosphere here in Diva. My friend, what can I
Should we really be off work this early? There is still a lot left to do.
Why'd they have to give me that transfer? You can't beat the atmosphere here in Diva. My friend, what can I get You can't beat the atmosphere here in Diva. My transfer, what can
It's so nice to de-stress.
You can't beat the atmosphere here in Diva. You can't beat the atmosphere here in Diva. Why'd they have to give me that transfer? My friend,
If you lie on the grass, you can feel the heartbeat of the world.
You can't beat the atmosphere here in Diva. My friend, what can I get?
It's so nice to de-stress.
You can't beat the atmosphere here in Diva. Why'd they have to give me that transfer? My friend, what can I get? You can't beat the atmosphere here in Diva.
Should we really be off work this early? There is still a lot left to do.
You can't beat the atmosphere here in Leland. My friend, what can I get
We're way behind schedule.
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
Next on the agenda.
Ah, you've returned. How did it go? Were you able to find the Smaragdus Jadeite? Good, good. Then we have all the materials we need.
Well, if we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now. Got a ton of clients waiting for me back at the office.
Oh, you. All right, then. Go see to your business. Granny should be able to handle the rest.
I'm off then. Bye! Oh, yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't lose the business card I gave you. I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever bump into any trouble with the law, come find me directly. Regulars get discounts, too.
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not? If you have no wish to leave, perhaps you'd like to help me clean my teapot, hmm?
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
That child. Goodness knows where she learned to be so rambunctious. Her father was hardly so riotous or fond of talking nonsense back in the day when he... Indeed she is. Liyue has changed, and the Adepti must also learn to change. Yanfei might be overly garrulous, but she is also the most intimately acquainted with the city among us all. Liyue is not the same place I once knew. All right, then. Let us speak of this no more. Back on topic. I believe that I still owe you a little gift.
Oh, Paimon's so excited! How is it made?
It is but a single teapot. It shan't take long at all. Just wait here for a moment. There we go. This Serenity pot is all yours now. Hold it firmly. If you were to drop it, oh goodness, who knows what might happen. Take these blueprints with you as well. You'll need them if you wish to make your teapot a little more lively inside.
Wait a minute, Granny! How exactly are we supposed to use this teapot?
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I've already arranged for a certain little helper to await you within this teapot. She will explain everything you need to know about it.
It's so nice to de-stress.
Wow! This teapot seems even bigger inside than Madame Ping's! Huh. But there's just a whole load of nothing around it. Paimon can't do that! Well, you're the one with the sword anyway. You do it! Still, what? Oh, wait a sec.
Well, it seems that we have a visitor.
It's a huge finch!
Excuse me, I am not a finch. I am a teapot spirit, and you may call me... hang on a moment. What am I supposed to be called again? Oh, call me...
So you're the little...
Madam, you may leave all matters. Your journey may be far from over. Though it is the Adepti who create realms such as this, they generally do not have the time of day to attend to the banal matter of their maintenance. Thus, we teapot spirits were created to help guard their realms and manage their affairs. You may consider me a butler, if you will. Now, allow me to explain this realm to you. Have you any blueprints on you? Specifically, blueprints with beautiful rooms, chairs, and the like. As long as you have a blueprint, you can refashion this realm however you please.
Blueprints? Oh, that's right! Granny handed us some when she gave us the teapot, didn't she? Let's take them out and have a look.
Yes, these are the blueprints I'm talking about. Go on, open them up. Just commit the image of the objects to memory and prepare the necessary materials. Then simply release the thought from your...
Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city inside, couldn't we?
I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptus explained, he said, that this world is not...
A golden-eyed
I hardly remember myself. Well, let's not dwell on that. If there's any...
If you lie on the grass, you can feel the heartbeat of the world. Next on the agenda...
As a matter of fact, Uncle Doc...
What is it we have?
I believe you'll be...
Ooh, looking for...
I have no reason. I'm sure the detail... Ah, Traveler. Right on cue.
Hey, Catherine! Got any new commissions for us today? Also, how come...
I went to the shrine to draw a fortune slip earlier. The shrine maiden told me that it is the season for an unexpected reunion.
Catherine? Drawing fortune slips at the shrine? Wait, no, that's not the unusual part. We're in Liyue. You went to Inazuma and back in a single day?
Even I have a private life, you know.
Okay, so when you say unexpected reunion...
Who can say? But the anticipation of knowing that an unexpected reunion is due is making me happy to see everyone I cross paths with today.
Fair enough. Even though we see each other pretty much every day, whatever makes you happy. Wait, are you saying? Oh, Paimon gets it. Well, let's just hope the Shrine Maiden was right. Fingers crossed we find...
I'm sorry. Did I say something I shouldn't have?
Oh, it's nothing. Anyway, back to business.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do.
Really? Does this mean the chasm's not sealed up?
I will leave the requester to fill you in on all the relevant details.
All right then. Thanks, Catherine.
Very well.
We're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda... We're way behind schedule. Next on the agenda...
Hi there! You must be Yuehoi, right? We've been sent by the Adventurers Guild.
Ah, great. Good to meet you. Yes, I was the one who posted that commission. Wait a second. You look kind of familiar. Are you a famous adventurer or something? Oh, alright then. I'll start by introducing myself. I'm Yuehue, a miner, and I received a mining permit for the chasm just recently. I have a handful of other guys in my crew.
Seriously? They actually give permits out for the chasm?
Yes, the folks over at Yujing Terrace finally came to their senses and are now allowing a limited amount of ore mining near the surface. We were among the first to gain approval. But some things have happened recently that put all the miners on edge.
Really? What happened? We haven't heard anything.
So... it's hard to say exactly how big of an issue it is. Could be something, could be nothing. The main thing is that it's just very... strange. While one of the miners was on a break, he suddenly noticed a few hilly trolls walking his way. They seemed like they were in a daze or something. They walked right by him without giving him a single glance. They just made a beeline for the depths of the chasm. After that, the miner started observing his surroundings more closely and noticed the same thing happening time and time again.
Are the hilly trails just curious? Maybe they just want to take a peek inside.
Not likely. The strange part is that in all the time this miner's been watching the hilly trolls, he's never seen any of them come back out. It seems to be a one-way trip. Once the hilly trolls go in, they never emerge again. And it seems to be happening more and more frequently as of late. What are these hilly trolls up to? What happens to them after they go inside? Is there a disaster brewing? These are the kinds of thoughts going through the guys' heads now. Everyone's driving themselves crazy worrying about it.
Paimon's not surprised. Paimon feels spooked just hearing about it.
Exactly. The deepest fear is the fear of the unknown, you know? So we have to get to the bottom of it before everyone can put their minds at rest.
Do we really want to take this commission? Thanks, Mr. Miner, sir. We need to consider it first. Hey, you can at least pretend to consider Paimon's opinion first. Oh, so that's where you're coming from. Well, you'll really regret it if you don't go, huh?
So, what's your verdict? Will you take the commission? No pressure, but I gotta say, I'm not loving the prospect of my mining permit going to waste.
Yep, we'll take it. We're kinda curious ourselves now, too.
Oh, great. You're doing me an enormous service here. Now, let me give you the rough location that the hilly trolls keep heading to.
Jab and cross.
All hail! I'll protect us. Steady as stone.
Cool it.
Don't get frostbite. Freeze. Dodge this.
Picked the wrong test subject.
no stone unturned.
I'll catch up.
Someone needs assistance.
Whenever you need me, I'll be there.
You seem tired. Would you like some tea? I'll brew you some. Do you take sugar? 1 cube or 2? I'll catch up.
What's the hurry? Another test subject.
Freeze! Oh, so
Suffocate.
sorry. You're open.
Fury!
No touching!
Cool it. Freeze!
Suffocate!
You're open. Cool it. Don't get frostbite. Dodge this. Cool it. Dodge this.